One thing about Sisyphus that took me a long time to understand was that initially I thought it was a kinetic sculpture, which it is. But it took me more than 10 years for it to sink in that it's also a media player. So I began to look at Sisyphus not just as a kinetic sculpture, but as an instrument that plays visual tracks. And I'm super excited about the introduction of the Mini because it will get Sisyphus into more homes, more hands, more hearts, and grow our community of composers. There are many times where I sort of live in the realm of fantasy. My wife Bev reminds me of that quite frequently. But fortunately or unfortunately, I've had some of my fantasies come true, like making art machines. In 1998, one of my machines kind of escaped my shop, and that became Sisyphus. It was the first CNC machine that I made whose purpose was not to cut out or help me make static sculpture, but the machine itself was the kinetic sculpture.
Bruce and I hit it off over a love of motion control and CNC technology. When I met him, he was prototyping a museum piece of Sisyphus, so it was my first introduction to it, and like is very common when people first see it, I was quite amazed by it, as well as the technology and ingenuity.
Once Mike and I joined forces, our thoughts were to create a small desktop Sisyphus, but eventually we felt that doing it inside of a table and doing it with just top-notch quality would sort of set the bar as to what Sisyphus is and can be.
When we did the Kickstarter, the first Kickstarter, we had, I thought, pretty reasonable expectations, but we really didn't think it would do anything like it did, and it was so interesting at the beginning because within 24 hours we had met our goal.
We ended up with funding of $1.9 million, something obviously that we did not expect. But it made possible everything since.
We got some really incredible employees, and the employees helped us make the business successful because they were kind of an integral part of figuring out how to make everything work.
Everybody weighs in when there's something's not working right or there's an opportunity for a creative space. We frequently heard requests for a Sisyphus that was smaller and more affordable. It rekindled the first idea, which was to build the smaller desktop version. Just like our tables of any size, the Mini will play all tracks designed to play on a Sisyphus. The only thing that changes is the size, the exterior design, and the price. Most of my career as an artist, I've been a solo artist. I've done all the pieces that I needed to do, including soldering and coding on my own. But I've now realized there's only so far you can go without help. I've experienced something that is incredibly exciting to me, and that's working with others to build my vision of what motion control art can be. And central to that, having now experienced it from the first Kickstarter, is the community. The fact that there are people that I have never met who are sharing in creating for Sisyphus is just incredibly exciting. And we want to see where it can go.